Right, hello, good evening. Hope everybody's well on this very fine, lovely evening here in the UK. I'm just going to add you now to... Hi Jill, lovely to see you again. Hi Mayo, how are you? Right, it's very, very, very warm here this evening, so I am going to sit down. Now I will just get myself sorted out. My chair seems to have got... I thought I'd got myself sorted out, but as usual, there's always something, isn't there? There we go. So how is everybody this evening? How are we doing? I'm sorry, the sun is very, very bright. I need to put my blinds down, but they're right at the back there, so I can't get that done. So I'll just sit here. That way you should be able to see me without any sun glare. Let me see if I can shut my blinds. 1 second, just excuse me for a second. I have to reach over and around and move things about to try and get it. Oops. As you can see, everything is in its place and has a... There we go, move this out the way, that's it, there we go, I'm getting there now, hopefully. It's getting stuck behind my shelving unit, because I have some shelving units behind my blinds. Oh, hello there, Never Bored, how are you? Really lovely that you're joining us, all the way from Romania, so hello, hello, hello. Yes, I've not been on Twitch very long, so it's lovely to have you here. Really, really is. And I hope you're going to enjoy what I make and show you. And we've been making, just to catch you up, we've been making this album using the lovely, lovely Minte Papers Grandma's Attic. So we have sort of finished the album to a point, and we are going to work on the spine, and we're going to put the book dangle, the book dangle on. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. That's what I call them. A little book dangle here, which I've done a couple already, just to give an idea of the things that we can do. So, oh lovely, oh I'm really pleased, oh thank you, oh I'm glad to have you here as well, it's really, really nice. So it's lovely to meet you. So as I say, we've done the album, and what I've done is just put in the last page. I've not decorated it because I thought that we can do on stream, so I've put in the last page. So we did this page, which was the diagonal page, which I've not put anything in there yet, and then we made up our little paper clip embellishment there. And then all I've also added is just some photo mats in the side pockets, or like so. That's all I've done. I've not done anything else with them. I am going to put a little tab on there as well. Hi Sarah, nice to see you again. Hope you're well. How did Lily enjoy her second to last day at work experience? So then on the back page, all I've done is very, very plain, and we've just used one of the Cool Cats photo slot dies just to add our photo slot. Now you may not have noted or seen, in my shop I've got these brand new things which are transparent sticky notes, and they are fantastic, especially if you don't want to stamp right into your book. You can stamp your message onto these and then just stick them on the top, and then they can peel off. and so that whoever you give the book to can take these off if they want to, but it can tell them whether you want them to put like a 7x5 photo in there, or you can write another message on there, maybe I don't know, you could put anything on there that you wanted really. I can't think of anything at the minute, but anyway, right, sorry, I took this out because I was showing some people today. I did a very impromptu live. Oh my god, she loves it. She's a bit emotional tonight and she doesn't want to leave. Oh, that's a shame. Well, maybe, you never know, she might be able to work there in the summer holidays maybe, and she might get a little part-time job out of it if they're open or they might not be open Saturdays if it's preschool, but you never know. So let me just put that back in there. So coming on to this page, now this was our mammoth page, which is our pull-out booklet, but I'm going to pull it out this way and take off all my bits and bobs. So this would be it out of the page. So that's our page there, which is just a shortened version of the longer page. But on this we've put in a credit card slot, and then I've added some of the tag dies in there, and in the tag dies I've actually put the circle that would be die cut out back in, so that it looks like it's just a plain arrow, which I quite loved that idea. Here I just did just a tag, and this is also a 4x3 photo tag, but what I did is I used the stitching hole marker, that's what I'm going to call it, to create the stitch line. So that's faux stitching. Let me come over here, I'm sorry, let me come over this way. So this is faux stitching on that tag, which is created, in case you didn't see it, let me find it, by this really strange, and it looks quite dangerous contraption. It is quite sharp, I have to say, because I suppose it goes through leather to make sure you get your stitching straight. But if you run that over your paper, make sure you've got a cutting mat underneath, because you don't want to go through your work surface or your brand new craft mat, and then you can just join the lines up with a pen. So that's a very nice trick to do if you don't want to get your sewing machine out all the time. So yes, she's hoping after she finishes school, she's at school at the same time. And she is, and they shut in the holidays. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, well, you never know. Maybe when she goes to college, there might be, like, she might only be in there a couple of days, so she could maybe fill in and fill in there, which would be nice. So that was that. Yeah, it's a really good idea, Neverboard. Very good idea. It wasn't my idea, I have to say. I went to a workshop and there was a lady there called Jenny Marples, and she does a lot of mixed media type memory books and mini albums and junk journals and things like that, and she showed that technique, which I have to say I've now stolen, but yeah, it was a really good idea, so thank you, Jenny. So when we open then this up, so this is like a 3-page book. So I've just kept this very plain. So I've just used all my scraps, but then rounded all the corners just to give that different effect on there. I do like that effect. And then this one I'd run out of paper, so what I did is just created a nice pocket. But what I did with this at the top is I just made a 1-inch page protector, cut it, scored it in half, and then put it over that, just over that pattern paper, and then it's going to protect the top from sort of getting all marked and torn and things. So so that's in there. I've not put any embellishments inside because I need it to be quite flat. So then turn it over to this page again, very plain page again, with that same technique as on this page, but this time it's with different sizes. It was just sizes that I had available that I just cut up and then just used and then went from there. Now these are big enough so you can add your 7x5 photos on here. Your 6x4s will fit on here as well. You could put 2 6x4s. I think that's near enough a 6x4. So you can fit 2 6x4s in there as well. So lots and lots of photo opportunities in here. And then when we turn it onto the back page, now what I did, I think, I'm not sure what I did. I did something and I had to put in a extra piece of, I know what it was. Here I'd made a rosette, and the rosette, unfortunately I'd stuck it into place, and the rosette then wouldn't allow my booklet here to open, so I had to very carefully tear it off, but it did tear the paper underneath. So to get away from having to redo the whole thing, I just added a sheet of spare pattern paper, exactly the same as the paper underneath, and you wouldn't know unless I pointed that out that that was a repaired job. So then I just, on this bit here, I just stuck one of these, I think these are organza roses on there. So this page opens up and then opens up the belly band. You can fit a 6x4 video, 6x4 photo album on there, and then you open it up, and then I've got some photo slot punches, and I've just put a 6x4 photo in there. This is for a 4x3, but I couldn't find my 4x3 stamp, so that's why that's not got one on there. And again, I've used these very nifty transparent sticky notes. I won't call them the other notes because I don't know if that is I think that might be trademark. So the sticky notes for me. So we're going to put this one back in, and then on the front and back pages, so on the inside front and back pages, we have got oh sorry, I've got another page here. So this isn't the next page, this was the first page we did, and I loved I'll take that out, I loved the composition of the page. So what I did was, where I had a natural line along the top there and then down, and then I cut out the tag, and then what I did is use that as my tuck spot, and then I just added some extra butterflies which I used glossy accents on. And yeah, I like the colours as well, Mayo, they're my favourite. I think these greens and browns together, really do love them. They are, with like, you get the little bits of peach in there as well. It's really, really nice. So that then became a natural tuck spot. So again, I just added some cut out butterflies with glossy accents on. I cut out some extra of the flowers and just a few extra die cuts that I had out, and then cut them out coloured card. And then I added some gems just onto the centre of the, sorry, it's because I might move you over a little bit this way. There we are. It's just I've got loads of stuff that side, so I do apologise. So on here, again, I just added some sparkly gems just to those centres of those butterflies, those flowers. Now I've just noticed here that one of my little metal embellishments for my body of my butterflies come off, so I'll have to fix that in a moment. So again, in here I've just added a pull-out photo mat, which I think I may have to cut down because I think it's a bit too snug, but again, I'll do that later. So on the back of that page, we added the little mini flaps that we made out of the tag dies. So this here is this part here of our tag, and what I did was I just opened it up and I just scored down the, not the center, but scored down just below where that last sort of scallop comes, and then they then became my flaps for my page. This here is a 6x4, so again you can obviously put your photos in there, and again 6x4s on, sorry, 3x4s photographs on these if you wish, or journaling spot. Yes, it is Neverboard, it is. It's the grandma's attic, and I have to say I'm absolutely loving it. I think I love it that much I've actually gone and bought another 2 pads. Now I've used 2 pads of the Minte papers in this, and I think when I bought this it was possibly about £7, and I can't remember how many sheets are in there. Hold on just a second, let me get another pad and then I can show you. So this is just another Minte paper. This is Lady, and in there you've got 12, so there's 12 sheets in here. So I've used 24 sheets, which I think if I paid £7 for these, that's £14 for a book, which is pretty good, I would think. And again, you can do so much with it. Now I've kept 1 sheet by to do the spine, I think. If I haven't, I'll show you a trick of how we can do the spine. But for the back, I've not got any full sheets left, so what I'm going to do is I will cover it with black cardstock, and then whatever scraps I've got, I'm just going to paper piece them on. And I have to say, it does look really, really stunning on an album. Now I think I've got one here that I did a workshop with Maggie and Kay from Cool Cats Crafts, and what I did is I did that on the front of my book. If you can have a look here, so this is their book that I did. I won't show you inside because that is not the point of the video, but I just wanted to show you. So on the front I've just used 2x2 squares of paper stock that I had left, and I've just paper pieced them all together just to create the front of my book, and it does look as though that should have been there. It really, really does. I love doing that idea. It's really, really good. So that's what I will do on the back. So on the front and inside back covers, I've added this feature here. So on this one, I've just added some glossy accents. Now I'm going to leave this side blank, like so. I'm not going to put anything over there. You could put a 7x5 or a 6x4 photo on there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it because I put my glossy accents on, and you can just about see that moving there. So I did the butterfly and the flower and the clock here, but you could go to town and do as much as you want to. Now I've put my magnet in my pull out tab here. Now I haven't covered that yet, but I will do, and that worked a lot better than when I did the front one, which with the front one I put in magnets. I put 2 magnets in here and in here, and it just wasn't enough for to keep my flap closed. So I then came up with that idea of then putting the magnet in the top there, and then that just seems to work really, really well. So sometimes what I suggest to do is to start on the back page, do all your mistakes on the back page, and then when you come to the front you've already done them, so you get a nicer finish on the front than you do on the back, because inevitably I always make mistakes. Yeah, I love glossy accents too. It's such a lovely tool to have in your crafting arsenal. So again, a bit more paper piece, but this time I've left the corners as square corners, just to give a different idea. And then this here is the top of my flap that I flap up. Now with this one as well, I actually added a 1/4 inch gusset so that it sat more flush over my waterfall pieces. When I did the front, I didn't do that, and again I wish I had, because this bows just slightly. If you can see there, it bows a little bit. Now that's okay. I'm just a bit of a perfectionist, and I prefer they didn't do that. I just miscalculated on how much cardstock I would need to put in there, but it happens. As I say, this happens. So when you come to the back, although it's looking fatter, it actually sits more straight and flat to your base of your card. So again, that's why I should have done the front, the back first and then the front second, but we learn these things. So opening it out, the other thing I did was add some photo mats. Now this one here is a 6x4, and then these ones at the bottom here, I can't actually get it into shot, I do apologise, there are 3x2, so you can put 3x2 photos on there. And then these ones are your 6x4s, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you could get one there, 7. So you've got 7 6x4 photos, and then you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12 4x3 photos just in that one area. So if you're looking to put photos in, that's the way to go, in that tiny area there. So that was a quick run through of the book. Yes, I do. Yes, so it's where you can put your photos. I'm sorry, I've not even got any photos with me. But yes, it would be, so they're actually sized to 6 1/8 by 4 1/8, so that when you put your photo on, you'll have that 1/8 of an inch border. And I just think it looks nice. I don't think, let me see if I can find a photo, or just one photo. I think I did have some over here that I hid somewhere, and this is when you can't find them, as usual. Story of my life. Ah, no, they're not them. No, I thought I had some up there, but they're not. I must have moved them and put them somewhere else. They might be in here. I sometimes put them places for safekeeping. Sometimes I have them in this little, no, nothing in there neither. Okay, never mind. But you get the gist of what I mean, I think. So you can put them in there. Yes, there's places for you to put your photos. And then you could add some fake faux stitching around them as well. That would look really nice. But just, there's loads of ideas in the book. But today, what I thought we would focus on is the book dangle that goes on the side of the album. So I'll leave that open like so. So I've done a couple here. Now this one is probably a bit too much for this one, but I've done it. My daughter made me this resin heart keychain, this part here, with my Tomorrow Morton Crafts in it, and I just thought it would look nice if I put it on like a book dangle. So there's that sort, which is quite nice and long, and if you didn't, you could use these also on your bags as well. Now these ones I use lobster claws. I love lobster claw findings, so you can take parts off and then that can fit onto the ring as well, so you can add as many as you like on there. It just depends on how much time you want to spend with making your book dangles. You can also use paper beads as well. Now I did have some, but these ones aren't for this particular book, but I've made some before, so you can add your paper beads to that. We could make some of those as well, and then we could add them on, and then they would all match perfectly with the papers, because we would use our papers for that. So if anybody would like me to do a quick little tiny demo of that, then let me know and we will do one. It won't take very long, 10 minutes at most to do that. I'm just going to have a little quick drink. I think when the summer comes, I tend to drink about 3 litres of water a day. I really drink and drink and drink. Right, okay. So, when you do paper flowers, paper beads, you just need a kebab stick, something like this, and some of your scrap pattern paper. Now, it can be any length you want. The longer the length, the longer your paper bead is going to be. If you have a smaller piece, the smaller it's going to be, like so. So it's really up to you. Now there are lots and lots and lots of different patterns that you can use to make them up. If you just search paper beads on YouTube, you will get loads and loads of different patterns that you can make, and they are stunning. Now these ones I made from, I did some mixed media the other week, and it was just my masterboards that I had left over, and all I've done is just cut them up and then put some varnish over the top and left them to dry, and they are pretty robust now. As I say, the more that you put on, the more robust they will be. So let me get a scrap piece of paper. Well, I say scrap piece of paper. Let me get my sheet. Maybe not that one. So that's going to be for that. So what I'll do is we'll use this one. Now I'm going to cut this down. If I can find what I've done, there we are, with my trimmer. So I'm going to cut this down to 6. I'm going to go with 6 inches, okay? Now don't worry because this isn't a full patterned paper piece. This is more your little notebook books that you can cut out. I'm going to cut it down to 6 inches. Like so. Now you can cut it as long or as short as you want. Now then what I'm going to do is get a pencil, she says. Right, is that going to show up? Right, I'm hoping you'll be able to see that. Now I've got a pink here. Let me see if I can make the camera a little bit more. There we go. There we are. You might be able to see that a little bit better. Move that down. There we go. So I'll just keep it that big for the time being, and then I will zoom back out. Let me just get my pen, my ruler, because you never guess what happened earlier. I was cleaning my ruler because it was disgusting, and look what happened. It broke. It broke in half like this, and I've had this one for years. I was so upset, yeah, it broke off, so I had to put it into the bin. Never knew you could make beads out of paper. Well, now you will be able to, and you'll be doing it for lots and lots. I tell you, it's so addictive. So I'm going to make, I'm not going to do all of these, I'll just measure them all the way across. So I'm going to measure from edge to 2 inches, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, and then you've got the 12. Then at the top I'm going to go every 1 inch, okay? So it's going to be 1, so it's going to be 2, but I'm going to start at 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to join up the dots diagonally. So from this corner to your first dot at the top, you're going to draw a line, and then your 2 inch mark, you're going to join that one up with the 1 inch mark, and you're going to go all the way along until you've got all of these done. So I'm just going to quickly draw. Now my pen's decided to, hoping you can see the pink. It's very, very difficult, very, very faint. Let me see if I can get a proper pencil. Will work. I don't want to use a pen if I can help it, so let me just draw a pencil. It might work a bit better. Just about. It's very faint, like so. Now I'm not going to be too precise, but you're just going to use them as your guide. So I'll do 2, and that way, that way. So I'm going to do those ones. So what it looks like you've got is some really strange triangles, like so. Then we cut them out. So you've actually done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've actually done 5 of my triangles there. So let me just zoom you back out again. I don't know how else to do this. It's very strange. I haven't got a zoom on my camera, so I have to kind of do it this way. So I'm hoping that that's okay. I can move you over a little bit now, I think. Let me move you there. There we are. Move these over. I think what it is underneath here I've got something, and it's making me want to move over there. Right, so you've got your pieces there. So grab your scissors, and we're just going to cut them out. So as I say, just cut the triangles out, like so. Okay. And then this last one here. Now you can do this really tiny one. Will give you excuse me, give you a very different looking bead. I've got a bit of a tickle. Excuse me. Right, so I'm just going to rub out those pencil lines, only because I don't want them showing through my bead. I could have put them inside as well, but I wanted to do that. So grabbing then your stick, your kebab stick, we're going to start from the top end of your triangle. So the straight edge, okay? So what I tend to try and do is just really just try and get the paper rolled around that stick. Now it is going to be a bit difficult at first because the paper won't want to actually go into that position, but the more you do it, the easier it will get. But you want it quite tight. So once you've got it round, you then need to push it back on itself so that it then starts to roll. Okay, you can roll it backwards and forwards just to get that paper, to get that memory, like so. Okay, then when you're happy, just roll it out. Now I'm going to roll it around so that I get it at least with that memory of the paper being rolled out, and then I'm going to try and get it so that the the top here, so your point is going to get into the the actual middle of your bead. Drag the paper over the edge of the desk before start. Ah, that's a good idea. I'll try that on the next one, Jill. Good tip. Good tip. So there we go. I'm getting it now. There we go. I just want it so that it's even on both ends. And if one is going to go wrong, it'll go on this one. There we go. So there we are. So I'm just rolling it so that it is, as I say, even, so that little point is in the middle of your bead. Then you can get your glue and put the glue on the point, okay, like so. And then all you do is you're just going to roll that center part around. So what's going to in actual fact happen is the excess glue that rolls out onto your finger is going to then coat that glue, coat the paper, and you're going to get it, it's going to stick. Okay, so that is one of your paper beads. So then what you need to do is you can either use a matte varnish or a glossy varnish. It's really up to you, whatever you prefer. I don't mind either or. Now I wondered why I was a bit dark here, and it's because my lights have decided to stop working here. I will sort that out later. I wondered why I was very dark. So I bought this ages ago, just off Amazon, and it was about £7-8 for each pot, and you can see I've not used an awful lot out of them, but I do use it all the time. Now the person that said to get these was Vasilis Kontas. He said about those, so he uses this as well, so I thought that yes, you can use Mod Podge as well. Yes, anything like that, any type of varnish, or a because you can use Mod Podge as varnish as well. I have got Mod Podge here as well, which is this here. This one is just a little bit more liquidy than Mod Podge, whereas Mod Podge is quite a thick glue. This one, or sealer, this one is a bit more liquidy. This says this is permanent and quick drying. So I'm going to do one in matte. Now I've got, getting a bit of a flush going now. And in my now my dogs have a food in this country called Caesar, and what I do is I wash out and then dishwasher the pots, and they're just ideal for your glues and varnishes and things like that. So you don't need an awful lot, as I say, there's that much. And the same with Mod Podge, you won't need an awful lot of that. Now I keep it on the stick, and I'll just varnish it on the stick. Now I just slap it on like so, and then I'll leave it to dry. Now what I may do is do a couple more, but do a few different sizes, and then we can add this then into, hopefully it'll be dry, and we can then add it into onto our book. Whew. Excuse me just a minute for having a bit of a flush here. I think it's getting warm. I have actually got a tiny little fan that I can sit on the desk, which doesn't actually sound very noisy. So it's just one of those, you can just charge it up. It lasts about 6 or 7 hours on full charge. So I sometimes use it at night as well, which is quite good. So excuse me just a minute while I cool down. Right, so that is one of your beads done. So again, on the internet there are, as I say, loads and loads and loads of different techniques and different designs that you can do. This one for me was just a quick one just to try, but there's ones where you've got like a double point at the bottom. You've got fatter ones. If you use a longer paper, you can create more fatter designs. If you make the measurements in between them a bit longer, obviously you'll get a shorter but more stumpier bead. So really it's just up to you just to have a play around and have a look. So Jill, you said ring it like this over the edge of the table. That's what you mean. Very clever. I like that idea. Oh, I've got itchy nose, sorry. So I really wish I knew what was wrong with my light. There. I wondered why it was so dark over there. So again, we're just going to roll that down. I think I got that right, Jill. So pull that down and pull it over like so. There we go. Again, now this one has not actually gone much in the middle, so I'm just going to pull that back out again and pull that round. Now I can see on this one, there we go. Actually no, that's quite a nice wrap around. So put your glue on and then just pull it round like so. There we are. I might do one more, and then while these are drying we can get on and do our book dangles. So if you've got any jewellery findings at home, yes, it just helps to start breaking the paper fibres down, making rolling easier. It did, you were right, it did help. Yes, definitely. That'll be my new technique. Thanks for that. So yes, if you've got any findings at home and you want to make some, then you know, please get them out. So let me finish this one and then I'll go through what it is, and then I'll give you a couple of minutes to go and find some if you want to have a go while I'm doing it. So I've just put that one onto my little stick. I'll stick that in there. So I've got some lobster claws. I've got different sizes, but I think these were the only ones I could find. But these are quite nice. You don't have to use lobster claws. You can just use a jump ring. I've got some jump rings somewhere as well here. So you could just use a jump ring to attach it to the spine. So you'll need some of those. You'll definitely need some chain as well. And the other thing you'll need is some charms. So if you've got any charms at home, anything at all. Now another really good tip for trying to get yourself some charms. Now this is I went into some charity shops here in the UK, and or you can in the Dollar Tree or any of those, and just pick up cheap jewellery. And in the charity shops here, you can pick up necklaces and bangles and things like that for next to nothing. But you have got then an actual a book dangle that is all ready to go. All you have to do is cut this top bit off, and then you can put that on, and it's already done. So that's a really cheap and an ineffective way of getting yourself some sort of bling on the side of your books. Now I have got down here, I've got quite a big collection of bits that I've bought from charity shops so that I can make my dangles with. I'm just going to, sorry it's been very, very noisy. Get it off. I have it round my cupboards stay. Move that out of the way and it gets caught and everything. So, as I say, these are just things that I've got that I bought in charity shops that I think, right, I can use that. So this here, which is something like, I suppose, a Pandora charm or something like that, you can use that like so. Maybe add some ribbon on the top of there to make that into something. Apart from, I wouldn't use this one on this one because it's got a skeleton, it's got a skull on there. I didn't realise that, but never mind. And then this is just a necklace. Again, you can cut this all apart and then just use parts, which would look quite nice on the side there. And then these ones are shells. These are just some of them. I've got a few more over there as well. But this one I really, really liked because it had loads of different charms and things on this really thick chain. So what I tended to try and do is source these charms and recreate it, which is a really good way of doing it as well. That's really nice. Look at that one there, that diamond shape. And this is like really purpley, so this would look nice on a really, really either vintage or a very dark, maybe something like a Halloweeny type book. That would look nice on that. So then we come to little things like this, which is, again, you could just cut that off and use that as is. It's got a little handbag on it. And then there was things like this as well, where it just has a ring, and you could again just attach that using a lobster claw, and then you've got a, you know, a ready-made book dangle to go. And then these ones are just shell beads. Again, you can just cut these up, or cut them apart and then add them to your lobster claw. And again, nice little shell ones here. This one I think is a curvy one with a heart on. So again, just go and have a look in your different stores and you will find something, or car boot sales or anything like that. Now, this is going to make a noise. I'm really, really sorry. I'm going to just throw it on the ground. There. So yeah, go and have a look at car boots and things like that. It really does pay to look at things like that. So those are the sorts of things you can look for, or you can get things like these are not those ones. That's something different. So these are tiny, tiny little gems that have got little eyelets on, so they are really, really good. Then you've got your enamel charms as well. They look really good. And I've got some butterflies here, enamel type jewel butterflies. Glass beads, they work really, really well. Again, some more enamel. As I say, I bought these because I wanted to recreate something like this, but I couldn't find that exact thing, so I kind of like I improvised. Then I have these type of things. So there's lots of different things that you can use. Definitely your charms. So in here again, there's like this lovely metal flower, and I've got a clock as well, so you could use things like that and put like an inclusions in there. And then the other thing I've got, which are these, which I absolutely loved, which is like a locket, and you obviously put your things through there to stop it from opening, but then you can put inside, you can then put maybe a cutout of the pattern paper as well, just to go inside there, and then you can lock it shut with your lobster claw or something like that. So they work really, really well as well. What else have I got? Well, I think what we'll do is we'll get on and use some. So these ones are plastic, and I again bought these to do something like this because I really liked that design there on those ones. So I kind of found those. So the main thing is first of all to start to put your spine handle on. I'm going to call them a spine handle because I don't know what else to call them. So we need to put the spine handle on. So I've got a couple of sizes here. So I've got the bigger size, which I'm going to do for this book, but we've also got there are also the smaller sizes. Now unfortunately the small size, let me move that up a bit, there we go, I can move it down. So unfortunately the small size, I haven't been able to source. The only ones I can find are the bigger size. Now the small size, the ones that I've sourced are so expensive that it's just not worth buying them. But the bigger ones are as cheap as chips. So go figure, I don't know. Maybe it's because these ones are used more often. But on this occasion, I'm going to use the big one. Now I have also got, which I couldn't find as usual, are a little, they look like a stirrup. I'm going to call them like a horse's stirrup, and they've got a little cylinder, and then the handle comes down and you screw those ones in. Those ones are a lot smaller than this, but will give you a different look if that is what you're going for. But one of these is going to be fine for what I'm going to use today. So for my spine, I always add my cardstock to the spine, and then your pattern paper on top. So I'm just going to measure this. This is going to be, so my cardstock is going to be 2 1/8 by, I think is going to be 8 inches. 8 inches. So 2 1/8 by 8. Now, oops, sorry about that. I really don't know why that is not working. Turned off there. No. It's not working. I'll have to have a look at that. I've got some lighting under there, and it really does annoy me when it doesn't work. So I wanted my trimmer and some now is that going to be big enough? No, that way. Let's see what that is. So I want it at 8, so it's just going to be long enough by 2 1/8. I think it was. If it's not, I'll redo it. So let me just check that is the right size. Yep, that's perfect, like so. Now the next, so I'm going to go down by 1/8 of an inch. So that would be 2 by 7 7/8 for your pattern paper. So I'm going to use this flat floral side. So I'm going to do my 2 inches on this side, so it goes down long ways, like so. Oh, sorry, my nose is running again. There we go. By 7 7/8. There we are. So that is my spine bit done. Now I will just ink around those edges just to soften them a little bit, if I can find everything. You wouldn't have thought I tidied this room up last week. I will tidy it up again, I promise. So we're just going to add that on there. So what is everybody doing this evening? Is anybody crafting along? I'd love to see if anybody's crafting along. If you want to put your pictures in my Discord group, somewhere on the chat you will see the links come up for that. And if you want to go and visit my shop, tomorrowmortoncrafts.com, I'm getting quite a great selection of crafting goodies. It's going slowly, but I think what I've got is things that are really useful. So go and please take a look in there if you haven't already. And if you have, and you've already bought from me, thank you ever so much. I do appreciate it. And yes, so that is my spine. So what I'm going to do is add my glue to the paper, and take out that bit. Hopefully you will. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to add quite a bit of glue to this because I want this to stick down really, really well. So add it to your pattern paper. Now you do this before you put it onto your spine, like so. I'm just making sure I've got the gaps even and equal. I think I have. Oh. So with your book dangle, now I can't work out which way that goes. That way, I think. So with that, you don't want your spine handle to be sort of here, because then you're only going to have a really, really short book dangle. So I tend to put it possibly about 1.5 inches down from the top, but again, it's entirely up to you where you put it. Now I tend to just do it as a by eye, because whenever I measure, I never measure right, so I might as well just do it by eye. And I think, but what I would tend to do is, because this is 2 inches, I would just measure across 1 inch, make your dot, and then maybe measure down about 1 inch from the top as well, and then that will give you a nice long book dangle to be able to do. So I'm just going to use my pokey tool just to poke my first hole. Now you can, if you don't want to do that, you can of course mark it with a pencil. Now I only do the first hole because what I want to do is put my first brad in, and then I'll mark the other holes as we go around. Now I just use brads to say, as I say, to put this in. Now what you can also do on the back is get yourself some double-sided tape, and I've got a 1/2 inch here, and you can just put your tape just over where you think you're going to have some holes, and it will all become apparent in just a moment. Now this technique I got from a lady called Claire Charville. She did this technique, and it really does help keep your brads stuck. So all you do is you take off the backing like so, she says, hopefully. And I may have to go and blow my nose so I'm not sniffing the whole night. Like so. So take this one off, and there we go. So we've taken that off. Get your spine handle and your brad. Now that's going to go through the top hole. So find your hole and just poke it through. Now it will be a bit, you will need to get a bit of resistance because you've obviously put your double-sided tape along there, but if you then just push your brad legs closed, they're going to stick onto that double-sided tape and it will keep it nice and secure. So getting just going to use one of the embossing mats just to stick my pokey tool into. So I've now done all my holes. Bring that up. Another 2-3 brads in here, and again just open them out like so. Oh, that's okay, Neverbot. Thank you ever so much for joining me. It's lovely to speak to you. I hope you can join me again. I'm going to watch the video again on YouTube. Thanks ever so much for all the tips. You're very, very welcome. So thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. So then we're going to put the brads in and pull them down, and again the last one at the bottom, and push that down. And you see where I've had, must have been on my embossing mat, I've had embossing, maybe I've had some, I think, metallic wax or something on there, because it's then transferred to the back of my paper. Right, so that's on there nice now, and then they are nice and secure. Now if you want, what you can do as well is just add your tape over the top of that, and that is not going to go anywhere. Then you're going to have a really nice secure spine handle like so, and like so. Okay, and then that's doubly secure. And also what I sometimes do is just hammer the legs shut a bit more flatter on your back there, so you don't get too much bulk. So that is then your handle in place. Again, we can then attach this to our book. Now I am going to use a little bit of double-sided tape, and I will put it, I'm just going to put this down the center. Now again, this is just my 1/2 inch one, but you can use your 1/4 inch one, is fine. It's just that I had that one to hand. So again, lots of glue on here, and I'm going to put my glue over my double-sided tape as well. And then bring this up. I will need to just add it like this so that I can see what I'm doing. There we are. Push that up like so, and then firm it down, and it will start to lift. It's going to naturally try and do that until you've got it stuck down. So I'm going to add a bit more glue in there, and then if it won't stick just with you holding it, just get yourself a binding clip and just clip the edges there, and then that will eventually stick down. Now, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go and blow my nose. I will be back in just a second. Give me 2 ticks, because I can't be doing with my nose running all the time. It won't be a second. Oh. Ah, that's better. I've stopped sniffing now, which is good. So I'm going to have to put a little blinder clip just on there, just to keep that closed. Now, I might have to have 2 because this end is now popping up. That's the time. Like so. So it's just going to keep them closed. I put loads of glue on there and it's still lifting up. There we are. Just keep rubbing it down and it should start to stick. So that then is that ready now for our book dangle. So again, with that, I'm going to start with my chain. And with the chain, I'm just going to put on my lobster claw. And as I say, these ones are quite large, and you can get smaller ones, but I couldn't find those smaller ones at the moment. So I'm just going to get that and put that on like so. Then you can work out, these ones are the swivel, so they've got a swivel bottom to them, which is really good. Then I need my jump rings. Sorry, I'm just trying to find what I've done with them. I had them here a moment ago. I've got so many things here. They're not them. They're not them. They're not them. There they are. Nope. There they are. So I've got a few different sizes in here, but I'll just leave some over there like so. Now, I'll get my, I'm going to use the small size here, and not those ones because that is a double one. So just open it out, and I'm going to add it to the edge, the last ring of my chain, and then I'm going to clip it onto my lobster claw here. Now I think I did the wrong thing in putting that on, so get another one out, and we can then just attach it to that bottom ring like so. You will go on, and then we can push that shut again like so. So then we can add our lobster claw to our spine handle like so, and then you can then gauge how long you want it to be. Now you don't want it to come right off the edge here, because you're going to put something big here. So I would suggest going about halfway between where your lobster claw finishes and where your book end is. So I would go possibly about that much there. Okay, so I'm going to clip that off. Now these aren't very sharp. There we go. And then I can take it off now, and then we can start to embellish it once I get my, it's a bit difficult trying to do it upside down, inside out, back to front. There we go. There we are. So I'm going to move that out of the way, so we don't need that just for the minute. So then you need to just work out, so you've got quite a long bit, although it doesn't look too long. It will be, you can also add another one on here as well, so you could add 2 of these chains side by side, and then you would end up with a obviously a nice fat book dangle. So we're going to add this one on here, and again you can add it in different lengths, so it doesn't have to be the same length. It can be shorter or it can be longer. It's really up to you. And as I say, if you want to try this, it is so inexpensive. As I say, car boot sales or something like that, where you can just, you know, pick up your pieces of jewelry for next to nothing, and you can then just start by deconstructing them or taking them all apart and just adding them into your projects. And then that's also a really good way of recycling as well, or upcycling should I say. So I'm just going to clip that bit off. So I've got 2 there that are the same, but I'm going to have a third because I don't like to have I like to have odd numbers, not because I'm odd or anything, but I do. So I'm going to take that bit down. I hope nobody's bored. I hope you're just crafting away in your craft room, just listening to me waffle on. And there we go. It's nice to have some company when you're crafting away, but there we go. Push that shut. Now, I'm not the world's best jewellery maker, I have to say. I dabble is what I do. This is the extent of my jewellery making skills, is doing things like this. So I'm going to cut this the same length, only because that one is now not in the middle. I should have put that one in the middle, but there we are. I find jewellery making is too fiddly for me. So again, you can carry on and do more if you want to, and just keep embellishing them as you go. So I've got 3 on there. I may add more. So now I'm going to work out what I want at the bottom. So if you want your biggest piece really to be at the bottom. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but to keep it, to give it some weight, that would be a really good way to go. So I'm going to go with one of these, which are the enamel flowers. Yeah, they smell like very metallic-y smell. So I'm going to go with the green one because that's going to go with my project. I could also go with white, which would look nice. I could even go with the black. That would look really nice, but green is my favourite. And I've just saw this here. Now I've actually bought some more of these little hearts, plastic hearts. I really love those. So we're going to put these at the bottom. So I'm going to have this one possibly in the middle, and then some smaller bits around the sides. So if anybody's got any questions, please do let me know. I just sometimes feel as I'm just talking away to myself. I'm hoping that I've got people there just looking on, maybe enjoying what I'm doing. If you've got anything to say, if you've got any questions, please let me know. So again, all I've done is just using a jump ring, and I'm just tightening that up so it doesn't fall off, like so. So that's my one piece on, and then you can see there how that really does give that nice nice weight to your piece on there. So again, you can add different pieces again to the bottom. So I might go with something, so that is my middle piece. So let me move that side and that to the side. So we've got that one as the middle piece. And I could maybe put one of these flowers a bit further up. But then if I do one on that side, then I should really do one on this side. Shouldn't I really? But we'll wait and see. So I then can add, I've got these as well. These are like a gem with a like a pom-pom type velvet ball inside. These are really, really nice. These are plastic, but I love those. But I think they're too big. So let's have a look what we've got here. I've got loads of little pearls here, and these ones these ones are already wired, so to speak, with the little hook and eye already in there, and then these have got a lovely little filigree bead cap at the bottom, which is really, really nice. So again, I just need to get a couple of jump rings, and I have to say I'm really enjoying doing this. It's really nice. So I'm going to just carry on with this middle piece here and just add different bits as we go along. Oh, thanks, Namaya. I'm glad you're still here. You'd be quite good at this because you do all your little charms for your key rings. So that would be you'd maybe have to give us a little bit of a tutorial on how you do those. So we can just add, I'm just going to add these just as we go up, just up and down. It doesn't, I've got no right or wrong reason how to do this. I just like to add as much as I can to make it nice and full. Now again, you don't have to, you can add just one or two things, but it will look a bit sparse if you add just those. But if you've got bigger pieces, then obviously that would work out really well. I'm just trying to get them, there we are, sort of like that. So I'm going to add a few more of these ones. I've got the silver ones, and these ones I've also got in here. These have got a bead cap at the top, and that's got more of a diamond studded cap on there. But I'm just going to stick with the ones that I've already got and just go from there like so. And we'll add a few, and then we can put it on and see what it looks like. So I'm just bending that round so that I've closed that gap. There we go. You have to forgive me, it's not, I haven't done this for a while, so I feel like I'm a bit more fingers and thumbs. There we go, I've done it now. Good, 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 good. You've got some bits, Sarah, haven't you? You can be doing this. You can put it on your Alice box that you're doing. You could do that on the album. So I've got some smaller pieces here. These ones are different, so it's going to make a bit of a noise. I've got all different kinds in here. These are really small. These are probably about 1/2 inch wide. So these ones have got flowers. So I'm going to add the 2 different colour flowers. They've got some stars and some hearts. But I think the stars and the hearts are more greeny. But I could add some hearts, some green hearts, couldn't I? 1, 2, 3. So I could do that many. I think that was all that was in that one, like so. Yes, I've got loads of Alice charms, I have to say. I've got a big pot of them. but I look at them and think, oh, they look too nice. Right, these ones are those plastic flowers, but what I'll need to do with that is add, I think they're called hook and eye. I'm not sure if that's the right terminology, but I'm going to call them that. Now, I did have them. Are they hairpin eye pins? They're these that have got a little hook at the bottom, a little tiny eye at the bottom, and then that goes through your piece like so, and you can cut this bit off, and then that, so I'm going to do it this way actually, like so. Don't know if this might not be the right one. I should have used a ball one, but I don't think I've got any ball ones here. Not any that would stop that, but that's okay. We're going to do it that way. So I need my cutters. Now I'll cut it down to about there. I think I need to get some new ones. Now the other ones I need aren't here. I need my round ones, but I'm going to do it with these. Just turn that round and keep pushing that in. That should be right. There we are. So then you can put that on. So I'm going to put that on that way. So it can go in there. I know this is very, very fiddly. But I may not use this. I may use it and see what it looks like. I'll put that through that hole. And then add this on here. And I don't think I'm going to use this one. Don't think. No, maybe that side. There, maybe that one. That's better. Use it on that end. So I'm going to put that on there. And then push that over. Now, I should be using two. There we are. There we go. So then that's another piece on there. So I can see a theme coming here. It's all white. Yes, good. So I'm going to add a bit more colour to this now, because I'm finding I'm just going with white. So I'm going to add a few of these tiny little charms to the piece in the middle. So this piece here, I'm going to add some of the smaller ones. Push that together. And then you just get then a little bit more colour come through, and every time I try it you can't see the colour, it's hiding. So I'll add that next bit. Well, we've got another bank holiday this weekend, haven't we? Which is nice. Alright. I'm looking forward to it. Be nice. So take those ones out. Just open it up. I'm really sorry, I've got such an itchy nose. Well, following on, if you watch my stream Monday night, I was having a bit of dilemma with the doctors, and they never phoned me back, as we said. So first thing Tuesday morning, there's me, I'm phoning them up, and gets an appointment with the doctor, and credit where it's due, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He's not known for being the most caring doctor, but he is very good, I have to say. He I phoned him up, and I got a phone call for him. And what it is, my problem is, at the back of my head, it's really, really itchy, just by my neck. And where I've been itching, it's not red, not broken the skin, it's nothing like that, but where I've been itching, I've got one of my lymph nodes has got, I suppose, infected, and I think I had an ear infection, and I think it's all connected with that. So I wanted to just make sure that it was nothing untoward, and to just find out really what it was. So anyway, phones him up, and I said, I've had antibiotics because I had an ear infection. I said, but the doctor didn't see me, but unfortunately, because of the way the antibiotics were spaced, I didn't finish the course. Silly me, but I couldn't help it because I have to take other tablets as well, and they have to be taken at certain times. So because you have to take them an hour before food or 2 hours after food, I just couldn't work it all in. Anyway, that was another story. So anyway, he said, no, not to worry. He said, I would like to see you. Could you come into the surgery now? Bearing in mind I'm still in bed in my pajamas. I said, yeah. I said, could you give me half an hour so I can just get myself all, a bit up and dressed? Yeah, no problem. So the fastest I've ever got dressed, 5 minutes. I brushed my hair, brushed my teeth, got my makeup on, and I was in the car. And Rush is in there, all dishevelled and stuff. And I said, look, I'm really sorry. You have to excuse the state of me. He said, no, not to worry. And you know what? He was the nicest ever. He was so good. Luckily, he said there's nothing there. He gave me the shampoo to try. He said what it is, it's something to do with, it's your dry scalp, and it's just got infected. So that's what he said. So he prescribed me this stuff, or told me to get it because he couldn't prescribe it. And he said, do that, and if it doesn't go within a month, come back. Now, he is the skin doctor at our surgery. He deals with all the skin conditions and stuff. So I'm quite confident that if he thought it was anything untoward, he'd have got me sorted out. But the moral of the story is, the day before, I'd got a phone call to, or a phone-in slot with one of the special nurse practitioners at the surgery, and she said that she phoned, but I didn't get the call. I had no missed calls on my phone or anything like that, so I missed it. And she said she was going to call back, but never did. And I was so upset because I was really worried and wanted to get it sorted out. So, but the moral of the story is that even though you think it's the worst thing ever on one day because you don't get it, or something goes wrong, the next day something really good happened. And if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have got to have seen the doctor, and I would have probably been on antibiotics because that's what they would have probably prescribed me. So that was the moral of the story, is always think that even if it is, not a good turnout one day, something good maybe be around the corner. So that was the moral of my story. So I'm getting on quite well with this dangle. Now I want to add a few more little pieces on here. Now I have got some tiny little gems, or I've got some really big charms. So I've got a nice dragonfly. I'll call that a dragonfly. And I've also got these. These are metal little flowers. But I think what I might have done with that is actually coloured it. And these, I've got some little tiny teardrop ones. I'm sure I had also some ones that had clocks on it. I've got a little tiny, oh that's quite nice, I've got a little tiny tag that says believe. That's quite nice. So I'm going to put that in there. And I've got these as well. So these are really good because they've got your circle in the middle. Now what you can add on those is, I did have them and I said no, not those, they're not the ones I want. There. So I've got these little plastic domed gems. Now they're just clear. I don't know if you can see that there. They're just a clear gem. Now that fits in the centre of that gem. So you could then have a cutout and you could then put a bit of pattern paper in there, and then that goes on the top, and then you can use this as a connector. So that's another good thing, but I'm not going to do that because I haven't got, I'll have to hunt round for my little tiny die cut, my punch. So I'm going to put this little believe on, and I think I may have just had a message come through. So has anybody watched? Now I've not watched it. My daughter's friend said about it the other week when she was round, about this program called The Lotus Hotel. Has anybody watched it? I'd seen it on Sky, but I thought, oh, do I really fancy watching it? I didn't really know what it was about, but I'm so glad I did because it was really good. So I'm going to add this believe to the bottom, I think. I'm just going to find a spare little slot to put it in. I'm going to put that one at the bottom there. I might put another big piece at the bottom of this, like so. And it's getting there. It's looking really nice actually. I'm going to put a few more of the beads on. So these. If you didn't want to use these, you could just use normal beads and then just string them yourself, which is an option. It's just that I'm not very good at doing those types of the eyelet things. I can't seem to get that nice round effect, even though I do use the proper tools. I think it's just because I'm a bit inexperienced, but it just takes me a while to get this done, and I'm getting another hot flush. I do apologise. I've got really hot all of a sudden. I thought I'd finished it. I thought I'd finished with the menopause, but no. What does women go through, hey? Right, so I'm going to add a couple more of these balls onto the top here, like so, just to fill it out. And again, you can add different pieces. I quite like that, and I've got 5 on there, and I might want some bigger pieces as well. So, oh, I'll tell you what else I've got, which is really good, are these little suede tassels. I love them. Hang on, let me get them out. So, there's these in here as well, which are really, really nice. Now, these are suede tassels, and I've got, as you can see, quite a few pieces in here. I love these little fuzzy balls as well. These little fuzzy balls are really cute. But I'm going to go with that green on the, yeah, I'm only going to put one. and that can go at the bottom. I think I'll put that at the bottom of this one. No, let me see. I'm going to put it at the, no, that one's at the bottom, so I'm going to put it there. And I need another one. No. So we open this out, put this one on, and put that in like so, and then just, and then you've just got a nice dangle on there. Now I'm going to add a few more bits just as we go in, just as we go through, just to make it a bit more fuller. So I've got, these ones are quite nice. Do you know what? It's the first time I've heard that. I've had somebody go past the house with music blaring and I can hear it, and I'm at the back of the house. Don't normally hear that here because I don't live near many people. So add this here. So it must have been loud. And I'm going to put that one on there. Turn that up. So I've added those. Now what I'm going to do is leave that because we've got to add our paper beads as well. I nearly forgot about those. So then we can add probably at the top here. But with these, because they have got a big hole in, you can either use your invisible thank you, Mayo. Yeah, good night. I'll see you in a minute. I'm not going to be long. I'm just going to finish this bit here as well, and then I will probably be saying good night as well. So these ones you can either use more chain if you want to, and just thread the chain through. So let's have a look at this. This wasn't the one I used, was it? No, I can't see it, so this will do. So you can, let's use the smaller one. So we can just thread, or see if this will go all the way through to the bottom, like so. So it comes out the other end, and then at the bottom you can put another charm or something like that, and I've just pulled it through. Oh, well done, Tamara. There we go. So I'm going to just put this charm on the bottom. So let me grab another jump ring. These ones here, they're a double jump ring, so they make it a bit more harder to get on and off, so that's why I'm kind of like moving them out of the way. There we go. That's a double one as well. There we are. This isn't one. So open it out, and I'm going to put that through, grab this and put that through there, and then close that up, and then push that down, and then that's going to be sit there, and it's going to stop that chain coming out. So then what you can also do is then put another one at the top here, and then that's going to stop it from sliding up and down. But if you want to keep it like that, you can. And I'm going to put something very small, not those. these are small. So one of these tiny little gems can go at the top. And again, I need to look in here. And pull that open. And get that like so. And then just going to put that in the top one, where the toppest one that you can get, so it just hangs off the top, and then that's going to stop that from sliding up and down. And then cut off that excess bit like so, and then just add another little jump ring. It was my bright idea to put all the colours in together. Don't think that was a very good idea. Yes, they are split rings. Sorry, Jill. I don't know why I call them jump rings. They are split rings. You're correct. My terminology. I'm not a jewellery maker. So I've got different names for different things. So I'm just going to put this then. I'm going to put this at the top, I think, because I don't want it too near the bottom. So I'm going to put that one just at the top of the one that hasn't got hardly any on, which is that one in the middle. So it's going to go about there, I think. No, I'm going to put it at the top, as I said. And I will get you in. You will go in. There we go. So that's then one of your paper beads on like so. So you could then add the other one to make it a bit more fuller if you want to. But I'm going to leave that one on there like so. I mean, it will look quite nice. I might do that one off camera. And then when we've finished, I'll move that all over. You can then also add on here, you can add your ribbon as well, because then that will add also to the effect. And then you add it on there, and then you've got like a really nice full book dangle. So if I put it that way, hopefully you can then see it. If I make this one bigger, you can then see it. There you go. That's that there. Like so. Excuse the state of me. I did put on makeup and everything this morning, but I don't think it's come off. So yeah, so that is your then book ring or book dangle. I just love the sound of it. It just really sounds really nice. I don't know why, I just do. I'll make you smaller. So I'm going to leave it there and tidy up yet again, because I've now got all jewellery findings everywhere. I might finish that, put that other paper bead on as well, and that will look good. And then we've only then got the one part to do, and then we've got the back and then one page to do, and then we're finished with this book and we can go on to the next. Unless anybody wants to carry on. If anybody wants to carry on, I'm happy to. I can just finish up with that ring, but if everybody's getting a bit tired, it's now nearly 10 to 10 here. So I mean, I'll probably go for another half an hour or so just to get this book dangle finished. But I must admit, I'm really pleased with it. It really looks good. So with all the different pieces on, and I say you can just keep adding and adding and adding, so that you've got less and less little chain links that you've got free, and you just add and add and add. Or you can just add one. You don't have to add lots of them at all. So that is your book dangle. So thank you for watching. I'm not sure, I might try tomorrow, I might go live on YouTube, and I might make a little tag book using the little book binding rings that you get. I kind of did this one today in an impromptu live, so it just gave me an idea to do something like that as just a little add-on type thing. So I might do that on YouTube because I haven't gone live to YouTube, and I haven't worked out how to do live on YouTube and on Facebook or Twitch and things. So I don't know if Twitch likes it just yet. So yeah, so that's what I thought. I might try that and see what that is like. So thank you for joining me, everybody. I really have enjoyed your company as always, and I will see you again probably tomorrow, but on YouTube. So I will see you then. Bye everybody, take care, see you soon, bye.